Okay, so now today we're talking about breath work, breath-based relaxation. We did a brief exercise. Hello, I'm Dr. Adam Broderick Sawyer, otherwise known as Dr. B, sometimes Dr. Brody. So breath work, breath-based relaxation. So if you're watching this video, and you haven't practiced breath work yet, please do go check that video out. As far as the practice, okay, as far as what we did in that exercise, right, you maybe feel a little bit more relaxed. Maybe you feel different emotions that are coming up. Maybe you feel more fearful than before. Maybe you notice that you're angry, or you notice sadness, or you notice tiredness, right? So when you relax your body completely, okay, what is happening, especially with the breath, okay, is that you are down regulating or otherwise turning down the volume on your stress hormone, otherwise known as cortisol. Okay, so these are the Western scientific language. Okay, we're turning down the stress hormone cortisol. Okay. So energetically or biologically, we can say, and then we'll talk about the energy components. So biologically, what's happening when you breathe all the way in, okay, you're getting a lot, I almost cursed, you're getting a lot of air into your lungs and into your body and into your blood. Okay. So as that's happening, your body is essentially like, yes, 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 fill me up, fill me up. This is fantastic. This feels wonderful, right? But if you don't release any and really focus on the out breath, you're not really releasing just the energy or tension, okay, or dense energies, whether emotional, mental, XYZ, in your body. Right now you can sort of see we're going into from Western scientific language sort of into the energy, more so energy speak. I call it indigenous science. But really, these practices and things are based on experience and experimentation. There is no one size fits all meditation practice, breathwork practice, healing practice, right? This is really just a space to get you started. Okay, so if you've never meditated before, if you've never tried to have a formal practice of relaxation, okay, this is a fantastic start. So I actually started teaching this. So I formerly was a psychotherapist, but then as I started to experience my own different energies, I just saw for myself it just wasn't the best career fit, which is okay. So I started this particular practice when I was teaching different patients, okay, and different therapy clients who were struggling, really just relaxing. So we're talking about some, I wouldn't say, severe mental disorders, but they were pretty challenging for folks. So we're talking about mental disorders such as obsessive compulsive disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, right? So a few years back, I'm working with a lot of different clients or patients who wanted to meditate, but they couldn't really relax their bodies. Okay. And then I developed this particular meditation practice, which which is related to what we might call breath work or breath-based relaxation. It's just language, but those steps, breathing all the way in and then breathing all the way out, okay, it really helped a lot of folks who would have maybe racing thoughts, really intense fear-based symptoms, right? When they would breathe all the way in and all the way out, they would essentially turn down that cortisol volume. And then my basic philosophy was, well, if this particular practice helps people slow down their breath, slow down their thoughts, slow themselves down so that then they can sit there and observe their thoughts, which is maybe more known as traditional meditation, right? So my philosophy was, okay, well, if this works for people who have a really hard time calming down, then this is a fantastic way for anybody to really learn meditation, okay? Just by starting to release that energetic tension, okay, and really release it and relax it on purpose, right? It opens up a new space where we can observe what's naturally there. So what that means is when you release your breath that way and you're relaxed completely, you may notice certain truths about yourself. Maybe you're hungry, maybe you're thirsty or tired or or you're angry or whatever. We can tune into ourselves only when we release and relax completely. When we're tense like this and we're tight, we can't really experience or see what's going on inside of us. Okay. Then what's inside of us will get projected outwardly every time. So you're stressed or you're tense, right? You're not released, right? You'll have a hard time knowing what's going on inside of you versus the world. You'll get confused, right? So this person who cuts you off in traffic, right? And you get really angry and you're like, this person is doing this and they're doing that and da 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 da. A part of your upset is also coming from your own basic tension. This isn't to say that you'll never get stressed. What I'm saying is that when you focus on releasing the breath in that way, right, and you try to keep that release on all day, you will significantly reduce your stress because you're not contributing or projecting your own tension. You have control over that because you practice a practice, okay, to get your hands on the controls of your stress. We're not saying control emotion. What I'm saying is focus on keeping your breath released. Get full in breaths and get full out breaths. And when you're tense, know that you're tense, know that you've accumulated tension and release. It's a moment to moment practice. You can use that breathwork practice, whether you want to do just 5-10 minutes a day, right? You just want to do that. I've taught some meditation students to use it 3 times a day. Some folks, they notice, hey, I have to be able to have those times during the day where I'm sitting down and focusing on it, just to get rid of that accumulated tension, right? And then for myself, my practice looks like, I don't do breathwork anymore. It's sort of that first layer, but throughout the day, I tend to focus on whether I'm holding my breath or not. Each and every moment I notice that the breath is being held, I release. Okay. When I notice I'm not breathing, right? So there is an attention, a level of attention being paid to my relationship with my breath all the time. Why is this important? If I'm holding tension, like I said before, and I'm not paying attention to how I'm feeling, I'm going to look at the world, okay, and take that stress and blame the world for a part of that stress. Let's say the world's not stressful, but what I'm saying is when you don't keep your inner space clean, when you don't release accumulated tension with the breath, when you don't do that, you are contributing in a way, okay, to the intensity of your stress. Let's put it that way. Okay. It's not completely all your fault or XYZ, but you can contribute more or less to your stress, to your life situation. And by using that basic practice or philosophy or principle, right, we can actually go throughout the world and go throughout our day having a restful attitude or restful presence. Okay. It's not about getting rest. Okay. I think a lot of folks take the word rest and then it becomes contorted into make sure that you work really, really hard and get all perfectionistic and get all agitated and get no sleep. And then, once a month you do something where you rest completely and then you go right back into being all tense and perfectionistic. And this is, to me, it's sort of a Western, maybe American philosophy, needing to rest only so that you can produce more. Okay. But in my view, and this is just commentary, right? I'm just commentating. This is my opinion. Which in my view, viewing the world and life that way, how can I rest so that I can produce more? It in one way or another perverts our birthright to be happy as human beings. You can have a restful attitude while you're working, right? And when we talk about the energy components, so now we can talk on the level of mind and what I used to do in psychotherapy. On the level of energy, I teach from experience, and different teachers who have taught me and helped me with my energy. Just a disclaimer. But when we think about this overdoing in our society, really what it is in energy terms, I mean, anybody who's interested, look this up, do your own research, experiment, things like that. It's an imbalance of yin and yang energy. Okay. Yin meaning receptive, okay, restful, surrender. People may call it feminine, but that term is not related to your gender presentation or your sex or whatnot. It's just energy, yin being energy, whereas your yang energy, yang, we like masculine, right? Doing, going, go. So we have a corrupted relationship, an imbalanced relationship with that in our society. We can kind of see that happening. There's a consume, be perfect. Oh, it has to be this way. That speed, that hypeness is an energy imbalance, right? We don't need to go out into the world and force everybody to slow the hell down. That's just more of our yang energy trying to force our way onto other people. You should be doing this or you should be doing that. This is a personal balancing practice. So as you learn, okay, this is a lot of kind of heady stuff, really. We're commentating. So when you practice just releasing your breath, okay, so maybe you're sitting in class, you're sitting at your job, you're in the car, you're with your kids, whatever it is, and you're noticing tightness. It doesn't matter what's going on around you. You release, you relax into the moment. And as you relax into the moment, you're going to notice what's really going on inside of you. Okay. And now, when we release and relax into ourselves, we may notice that we're hungry. We may notice that we're criticizing ourselves. We're maybe noticing fear or anger or whatnot, right? And again, that imbalanced yang yin energy in our society right now, really on an energetic level. I'm saying, I'm just commentating. You can go, check it out for yourself. That imbalance, then when we see what's really coming up in us, right? So say I release, I relax in my breath and I notice sadness, right? If I have an energy imbalance and I only have doing energy, right? Then I'm going to try to fix the sadness. I'm going to go, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that, blah, blah, blah. But really, energy doesn't work like that. Energy, and especially with emotion, it's designed to move through you. You need receptivity to actually feel into and allow emotions to metabolize in your system. When we think about emotions, even thoughts, any energy that comes through you, when we start thinking in terms of energy rather than this emotion is this emotion is that, when we stop categorizing it, and we just breathe into and allow our experience to flow with the presence of breath and releasing tension. We just allow that system ventilation, really. Okay. Things start to flow and Mother Nature sort of just comes right through you and she helps you out. So if you need to cry, you're going to cry. Like if you need to, if you need to get out and do exercise, that's what you're going to be pushed to do. But we're not receptive to our own energy. Why? We have our cortisol all hyped up and we're tight. So Mother Nature has no space energetically, okay, to sort of get into our system, to show us ourselves, to show us our truth of any given particular moment. So this is an essentially, and I'll wrap it up here, not really on a bow, because this is for you to figure out. This is just language. Your experience of this practice of breath work is going to, and which I would encourage you to do, it's going to show you things about yourself and how you like to practice, different ways of releasing. This is just really a starting off point. But the last thing I'll say here is that tension, tension, it is a holding, it is a lack of surrender to what is. Okay. You're not breathe like breath, things like that. You're maybe focused on your mind. You're focused on what you got to do. It's almost like this dissociation, I call it, I'm making this up, like a Western dissociation of how can I be perfect or how can I measure up or X, Y, Z. And that just cuts us off from our bodies. Right. And then even further, when you're happy, you have happy thoughts. When you're sad, you have sad thoughts. When you're stressed, you have fast thoughts. When you're relaxed, you have slow thoughts. What this means is that your thoughts respond to your energy. Your energy system is one energy system. Okay. And arguably, we won't go like too far with this, but even in your immediate environment, that affects your energy too. So when we try to separate, this is a thought, this is this is that, we ignore the dynamic interconnectedness which literally threads together the universe. We're not trying to go too far with this. I just told you I'd talk about energy. So when you breathe and practice this, I want you to experiment. Don't just agree with me or disagree with me. Experiment. When you have fast thoughts, notice, are you breathing? When you breathe, what happens? Do they speed up? Do they slow down? Right? Do this every day for, 10 minutes a day. Set your timer. Right? Just breathe all the way in and breathe all the way out and release your tension, right? Just do that each morning and see what happens after a few weeks, right? Inner exploration is exactly that. Inner exploration. There's certain techniques and teachings you can X, Y, Z, but ultimately getting to know the insides of yourself really, in my view, starts with this basic, just sort of encouraging relaxation. Okay. And day by day, gradually, maybe turning up the volume on your awareness of things, right? And turning down your volume of dissociation, right? Not being in tune with your breath. Okay. So I hope this was helpful. I had a lot of fun just kind of chatting and talking about a lot of this stuff. I just, years and years and years of inner exploration. Almost feel like I got a PhD in psychology and a PhD in and going inside of myself, but you get no degrees for that. There's no rewards. So I appreciate for you all listening. Again, this is Dr. B, Dr. Adam Broderick Sawyer. You can go ahead and check out my website, my content. I'm also going to be starting up a YouTube channel for myself, so I can check that out. But join my mailing list. I got a lot of great content coming out. If you like these musings, then great. I'm going to have a crap ton more. And also I have different meditations and things coming out. But I appreciate you all. This is Dr. B signing off. Peace.